Naisha Lyons, and I'm presenting my lesson plan for ITEC 7430, Beware of Microorganisms. My driver question was, how can we prevent the spread of harmful bacteria in our homes, school, grocery stores, and other places we visit? These are my project standards and the NESTY standards. An overview of my project is during our microorganisms unit, students will be researching harmful microorganisms, creating a wanted poster, and working with a group to create a public service announcement campaign. The public service announcement campaign will focus on a harmful microorganism and inform the public about how to prevent the spread of it or cure it. Students will have choice in the way that they want to design their public service announcement. They have an option of creating a bulletin board, radio announcement, or video. Students will also create an information flyer in Google Docs to accompany their PSA or pamphlet. Here are my essential questions. Students are going to be assessed using a rubric. Some of the components include technology use, information that was gathered. Students are also going to share information with me that they create using Google Drive. Students that are creating a video will use tablets and Movie Maker to create a video that includes a title screen and credits. Also, students that are making a radio broadcast will use Audacity or audio recording program through eClass, which is our electronic classroom, to record PSA. The students that choose to create a bulletin board will use various Google Docs to collaborate and create information to be presented on their bulletin board. Here's the rubric I will be using to score. Some of the digital resources I used with my students was Padlet, Quizlet, Movie Maker, Google Docs, Google Drive, Audacity, and eClass. They also had resources such as checklists, PowerPoints, the class website with research links and group norms, and a rubric. Students just need to be generally familiar with logging into the computer, class website, and Google. Students that will be using technology to create their PSA will receive support to develop their projects. Prior to starting the PSA project, students were participated in front-loading of the information. They also studied vocabulary using Quizlet. Students then took an assessment to determine their readiness for the PSA project. Students that scored under 80% were placed in a monitored group with the teacher. Students were working in small groups of approximately 3 to 4 students. During the PSA projects, they were able to create and share resources in Google Drive, which allowed them to collaborate. And also, students used the groups feature in eClass, which is very similar to Blackboard. Students had opportunities to work both in the computer lab and in the classroom. Each group had access to 1 to 2 computers while in the classroom and any BYOD devices. They also had access to one-to-one devices in the computer lab. Some of the instructional strategies I used was that it was student-directed. I was able to act as a facilitator. I also referenced Bloom's technology when picking some of the applications to use with the students. Students were in flexible groups, and that's how I differentiated information. They also had the monitor group that was for students 79% or below on their assessment. They had access to e-textbooks and digital readers to assist with complicated text. And they also were able to extend their learning by including special features, soundtracks, and additional imagery. Some of the advice I would give to people trying to implement this lesson plan is to make sure that your students have some knowledge of the tools that you are using prior to creating their projects. My students benefited from having a separate lesson on Google Apps a few weeks prior for us starting our projects, and also just to be open to your students' creativity and allow them to come up with some great ideas. Thank you. That is our project. I'm just going to through a couple of slides of ICANN statements. Thank you.